pan. May naalala kayo na mayor na dating sinasabi, simpleng tao lang siya ganon. Sabay, ganda ng bike, oh. Ibang klase. Gwapo ni mayor, oh. Etong favorite kong mayor. Si Mayor BMW bike. Yun, no? Oh, wala akong sinasabi. Sinasabi ko lang. Oh, 'di ba? Ano daw siya dati na hindi niya magamit yung ano niya, BMW ano niya. Yung ano, motorbike. Yan, talagang ganda ng bike ni tatay, oh. Simpleng tao nga. Talagang mahilig tayo, guys, sa mga simpleng tao na mayor, no? Pansin niyo, guys. Oh, ito yung news, basahin natin yung simpleng tao. Ito. Ang title po ay BMW ko sa PSG na lang. Duterte in tears after Sara gets his motorbikes. Ayan na naman yung mga dramang ganyan. Kawawa naman si tatay. Kawawa talaga, no? Oh, ito yung kwento daw. Duterte revealed this in a speech during the graduation ceremony motorcycle riding course and safety training sa Davao City. Sabi niya, ako ang nangyari sa akin. Kinuha ni Inday lahat ng motor ko. Kawawa naman si tatay. I would not know what made her do it. But yung nga, yung Can-Am ko, yung shadow ko, yung napaiyak ako yung BMW ko, nandoon sa kanya, ang nagdadrive yung mga PSG. Sus Mario Josep talaga yan talaga. Kawawa naman. Ano to? Wait lang. May nakita naman akong Bato de la Rosa. Totoo ba to? Ano na naman to? Si Bato. Ano ba yan? Okay. Mukhang magta-transition na tayo, guys. Parang na-shocks ako dito. Na-shocks ako. May bato na naman tayo. Anyways, guys. Enough now of this conversation ng mga simpleng tao. Baka uminit lang ulo natin dito. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, meron tayong problema sa ating bayan because meron tayong mga tao na, kunyari, simpleng tao lang sila, the next thing you know, may chopper. Hindi ko sinabi na may kasalanan kung may chopper ka, walang mali. Hindi ko sinabi na masama na magkaroon ng BMW na na motorcycle ka na. Sinasabi ko lang, ito nang definition po ng simpleng tao sa Pilipinas nowadays. So, lahat ng mayor ngayon, simpleng tao, pero ganun lang. Yung iba, nag-chopper lang. Yung iba, yung kaibigan nila, naka-McLaren lang. Yung iba, naka-BMW bike lang. Wala naman masama. Ang sinasabi ko lang, ito ay bagong definition ngayon ng simpleng mayor. Okay? Simpleng mayor. Alright? So, yun lang sinasabi natin, guys. Which tells you about how ridiculous our situation has become. Na, kailangan naman ng McLaren para magpasaya ng tao sa isang second-class municipality kung saan I'm sure there are more basic and important things to take care of. I'm sure in terms of education, in terms of healthcare, in terms of income, in terms of jobs. Di ba? And then yung mga mayor, naging presidente, pasimple-simple, tapos ganyan yung mga... Siyempre, sasabihin niya, hindi naman niya, ginagamit lang niya dyan sa PSG, simpleng tao lang naman siya, marunong lang naman siya mag-BMW bike, pero wala naman big deal, di ba? Wala naman big deal, guys, di ba? Wala naman big deal. So, yun lang sinasabi ko. Talagang, ay nako, Pilipinas, kailan tayo matuto? Nakita niyo yung campaign na piliin ng Pilipinas, yung ganyan-ganyan. Tapos may sabi, kaya, kung gusto nyo piliin ng Pilipinas, pili muna kayo ng matinong leaders para matino-tino yung bansa natin. Kasi hindi natin mapipilit yung ibang kababayan natin na piliin ng Pilipinas kung talagang walang matinong trabaho, dahil, alam niyo na, lahat ng mga kakulangan at saka problema sa ating bayan, di ba? Anyway, balikan natin ito mga kamets. Ito na, part 2. Charan! Okay, dito naman tayo, guys, sa Ayan. May nagtatanong, any plan to get into public service? Hindi ko alam kasi mukhang gusto lang ng mga tao sa public service, yung mga simpleng tao. Hindi naman ako simpleng tao, hindi naman ako maka-afford ng chopper. Hindi naman tayo BMW bike lang sa tabi-tabi, di ba? Hindi pa ako simpleng tao Diba? Hanggang Casio lang yung natin dito. Okay. Eto, guys. Hindi ko alam kung totoo yan nung first time ko nakita. Ano to? Ano tong drama ni Bato? Totoo ba to? Ni Bato de la Rosa? Ganyan na may tsura niya. The Bato School of Totoo ba to? So, anyway, obviously guys, pag-usapan natin itong konteksto ng Senate reshuffle. I think this is an important thing. Ito na. Pag-usapan natin itong konteksto ng Senate reshuffle dahil medyo madrama. Kasi may mga nagsisisi na ang may kasalanan daw na natanggal si Zubiri ay dahil doon sa hearing ni Bato. Alright? Doon sa hearing ni Bato how can I call it, guys? Yung Marites hearing, whatever. Okay, speaking of Marites hearing, i-remind ko lang guys sa inyo yung nangyari sa Marites hearing.
Mr. How can we be sure
may nag-comment. Ito daw ang ultimate reverse uno.
is totally unedited?
Ito, balikan natin guys ha. Reverse uno daw yan.
We will seek the expertise of the applicant.
Ayan na.
Alam nila
Ayan.
yan.
Ay. Wait. Shucks, baka magkaroon tayo ng dyan. Tawag doon na copyright dahil sa music. Alam mo naman tayo, mahilig tayo sa Narcos movie and all kasi nakakatawa yung music na. Saan ko mahanap yung walang music ng version? Pinost ko yata dito. Yun talaga si Jonathan Morales, ni-reverse niya, balik sa'yo. Sinong convicted sa atin, di ba? Ginano niya kaagad. Kaya yon, tuloy talagang the best yung nangyari talaga nun. Anyways, guys, so, may mga tao na sinisisi si Bato, yung hearing ni Bato, na natanggal daw ito si Zubiri. Let me just be very clear, Hindi ko sinasabi na walang kasalanan yung hearings ni Bato. Pero medyo matagal-tagal na itong usapin pangpatanggal kay Bato. Ito to.
How can we be sure if the
Ulitin
video
natin
that is going to be presented before the committee is totally
ito yung reverse
unedited?
uno, guys.
We will knowing this person who has a lot of criminal records, Mr. Chair. We will seek
Tingnan nyo naman si Bato, kampante-kampante pa siya dyan. Akala niya, nakalusot na siya. Naman.
So, yung buong recordings mo, okay lang sa'yo kung papuntahin ko sa...
Hindi niya na-anticipate yung sagot ni Jonathan.
It's okay with you. Your Honor, Your Honor, ay parang naman po saan maganda yung sinasabi ni...
Hindi niya na-anticipate yan
Jingoy Estrada patungkol sa akin. Para namang ako talagang hinuhusgahan. Ako'y may kaso pa lang at hindi pa napapatunayan sa hukuman.
Ayan na!
Hindi kagaya po.
Si Bato! No! Wala na.
Please.
Yan. Nagbabulgang. Tama yung sinabi, nagbabulgang yung nangyari dyan.
Your Honor.
So, hindi ko alam kung totoo itong na to, yung picture ni Bato. Nag-reverse uno kaagad. Arang, bakit? Ako nga, ikaw nga, Talagang nag-reverse uno yan. Talagang the best yun, Reverse uno. Talagang pupunta na gano'n. Nag-counter punch agad. Reverse uno. Yun, talagang. So, may mga nagsasabi na baka may kinalaman nito sa pagpa-fire kay Zubiri bilang bubble gang. Bubble gang, grabe naman guys. Grabe naman, bubble gang. Sa kayak ko, napawisan ako Napawisan tayo sa na to. Hindi ko alam kung iyak ako, napatawa tayo. I mean, ibang klase talaga. Oy, wag na ako i-underestimate, may training ako, may ako dyan. Si kuya, nag-reverse punch, reverse uno. Boom! Ganon, that's it. Yeah! Ganon, yun ang Mike Tyson niya, bubble gang tuloy. Now, di umano, may kinalaman daw to. Sa pagpatalsik kay Kay Kuya. Okay? Oh, ito yung title ng politiko. Gusto ko tong politiko. Kaya kinukuha nila si ano, 'di ba? Si Alden Ronald Llamas, who by the way will join us later this week. I needed some time to myself, all right? Bago sumali. Uy, ang ganda ng watch ni Kuya. Ano ba 'yan? Okay. Anyway, bago natin, ang ganda ng ano, talaga nag-flex pa siya ng ganun, ha? Oo, sige. Ito daw. Ang title, Hinudas si Migs. De La Rosa says he prayed before voting for Cheese Escudero. Ayan. Senator De La Rosa said he sought divine guidance before switching sides from Senator Zubiri to the camp of now Senate President Escudero. Ito, yun daw ang sinabi niya, alright? I've been praying every night at kahapon bago ako malis sa bahay, kasama ko asawa ko, mga anak ko, nag-pray, ganyan, no regret on my part. Okay, sabi niya, okay. My commander, I'm sorry. Ito yung sinabi ni Zubiri. De La Rosa that he tried to fight for Zubiri until the end. Aba, sabi na, my commander, I'm so sorry. I failed to win the war for you. Kaya ako napaiyak, hindi naman dahil sa sama ng loob. Nahiya ako sa kanya dahil hindi ko naipanalo ang giyera para sa kanya. Yeah, but, okay, you cannot convince other people to vote for Zubiri, but you voted, but you didn't have to vote for the other side, did you? Diba? Diba kung ganito, kung may gusto kang tao, diba? May gusto kang tao na mananatili bilang leader, tapos hindi mo nakuha yung loob ng iba, boboto ka sa kabila? Hindi, diba? Ang gagawin mo is, you'll stick to that kahit matatalo ka, diba? Yun ang gagawin natin, diba? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know about this. Ito, labas natin yung listahan ng mga bumoto. Alright. Itong 15 senators. Labas na yung... So, ito yung nilabas ng Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism kanina. Mamaya na tayo mag-reverse uno. Ay, naku, ang Pilipinas. Ano talaga mangyari sa ating bayan? Okay, so ito related tong dalawang topics natin today. Yung isa pa simple style ng iba dyan ay sasabihin nila simpleng tao sila. Yung pasimple naman ng iba dyan is drama sila. Drama sila. At ito guys, I'm all for people who are pious. I'm all for people who are into prayers. I'm all for people who have faith in the Almighty and all of that. Okay? 100% for that. Ang ayoko lang yung pinopolitika ang mga bagay-bagay tapos in-invoke mo pa ang Biblia or in-invoke mo pa yung ang Diyos, 'di ba? And especially when meron questions around what the heck is happening here. Okay? So ito yung 15 senators guys na bumoto. Okay, kay Cheese Escudero. All right? So Cayetano, haba? Cayetano. Ganda talaga. Ay. Ganda talaga na ano natin. Ganda talaga, labas ko lang natin dito para makita rin ng Cayetano. Ganda talaga ng Senado natin, very competitive. Malapit na maging 3 pa yung isang pamilya. Ito yung 15 senators. Ito. All right. Cayetano. Aba! Bato! Di ba sabi ni Bato, till the end, I'll fight for you. Biglang nag-vote sa kabila. Jingoy Estrada, alright. Bongo, Lapid, Aimee, Revilla, Tolentino, Idol Raffy Tulfo. Ayan, away na naman tayo ng mga ano. Bakit nagsama ang mga di ba? Robin Hood Padilla. Yun, ito talaga the best yan. Expert yan sa constitutional amendments. Yan. Grace Poe, Cynthia Villar, and then yung isa pang Villar, Cayetano. Ayan. Yung isa baka maging 3 pa. So, ang 6 na hindi bumoto sa kanya ay the good one, J.V. Ejercito. Ito, isa pang the good one naman dun sa family niya, Nancy Binay, Sonny Angara. Ito, na-interview natin recently, panoorin niya, si Sherwin Gatchalian. Ito si Lauren Legarda, Joel Villanueva. 6 lang bumoto kay Zubiri, and then 2 na minority ay nag-abstain na lang kasi ayaw nila sumali dito sa Bardagulan and all of that. So, as you can see guys, kayo na lang humusga kung ano nangyari kay Bato. Kasi kung sabi niya, he'll fight till the end and then biglang bumoto sa kabila, hindi ko na alam tawag dyan. Sa pagkaalam ko, fighting till the end ay hindi yung mag-switch ka sa kabila. Ang fighting to end is, kahit talo yung side mo, go, at least you still stick to it. But, ganun naman. Siyempre, simpleng tao naman din si Kuya. I'm sure simpleng tao rin siya. Siguro ganun ang gawain ng mga simpleng tao, di ba? Quote and quote, simpleng tao ng mga politiko. Now, so what on earth really happened here, guys? What on earth really happened here? Ano ba talaga nangyari? Bakit natanggal si Zubiri? The Zubiri version is, there was executive self-aggrandizement. Sa madaling salita, pine-pressure out siya ng powers that be, which more or less is BBM, right? Which more or less you would assume is Malacanang. So yun po yung version niya. Na natanggal siya dahil na-pressure siya. Alright? Which obviously, interestingly, kanina, you had a statement by no less than, labas natin dito, actually si former senator, wala na, sabaw na. Sorry, 5 a.m. pa ako gising nagtrabaho, guys. Sa alis pa tayo. Si former Senator De Lima, alright, may statement siya about na kung totoo itong sinasabi ni Zubiri na ang nagpaalis sa kanya is Malacanang or something like that, that means yung sinasabi na separation of powers, independence of the Senate ay questionable. That's a questionable claim. Alright? Because, remember, dapat co-equal branches of the government. So, para sa akin, two problems emerge, if yung position ni Zubiri is the ultimate explanation. Bakit? Number one is, kung magaling kang Senate President, bakit ka pumayag na paalisin ka ng Malacanang? Right? Or powers that be? Right? Because you are supposed to assert the independence of the Senate. 'Di ba? Kung Senate President ka, ang trabaho mo diyan is to assert the independence of Senate. You have to have a working relationship sa gobyerno on issues that you agree with as a matter of conviction, principle, and for matters of national interest. So, ang unang tanong ko is, kung ang issue dito is interference by the other branches of the state, then dapat pumalag ka. Dapat lumaban ka. Dapat nilabas mo noon pa, di ba? Dapat noon pa lang, nilabas mo na yan. So, yun ang maging unang sagot ko dyan. Pero yung pangalawang sagot ko is actually parang weird. Because if you look at the composition of people who voted against him, So, wait lang. Ilabas ko lang itong, itong statement ni Senator Laila De Lima. Wait lang, para lang makita nyo. Kasi interesting, nag-weigh in na rin yung totoong opposition dito sa issue na yan, di ba? Senator Laila De Lima correctly emphasized na we should have, in principle, a clear separation of powers, meaning, dapat, nag-assert ng Senate ng kanyang independence from the administration. Kaya ang statement ni Laila De Lima is, it is always unfortunate when the Senate leadership changes just because the outside leadership does not cater enough to Malacanang. But the reality of our politics is such that despite a bicameral Congress theoretically independent of Malacanang, the Senate President, a Senator, and the Senate can only go so far in not doing Malacanang's bidding. I experienced this firsthand when I investigated Duterte's extrajudicial killings. I was stripped of my committee chairmanship and worse, imprisoned and severely vilified. That was, of course, far worse than a mere leadership ouster, but the issue remains to be independence of the Senate and the Senator's willingness to fiscalize the executive branch. So, in short, sinasabi niya, dapat lumalaban ka, dapat you stand up. As such, Malacanang getting its way every time with the Senate is not a good thing as it goes against the very principles of checks and balance and separation of powers. So, yun po yung position ni Senator Laila De Lima. As I said, yes, I agree in principle na if indeed this were really a Malacanang pressure, because di umano, 'di ba? Nainis sila doon sa hearing ni Bato, ganoon. At some point, the Senate has to stand steadfast to defend its independence from Malacanang. So yesterday's Senate leadership change was not one of those days when it did. So ito yung position ni Senator De Lima, is I think now the official spokeswoman of the Liberal Party, right? Of one of the last independent, legit, opposition, right? We can have a long conversation if they're doing well or not, but ibang usapan na yan. So, this is the position of Senator Leila De Lima, meaning she's giving benefit of the doubt dun sa argument ni Zubiri na na-ease out siya ng Malacanang, na this was a Malacanang orchestrated counter move dahil ang implication is hindi sila natuwa dun sa nangyari sa hearings ni Bato. Except I have a slight problem with this version. By the way, I completely agree with Senator Leila De Lima. As a matter of argument and principle, dapat talaga separate ang Senado. So dapat, kung ikaw ay Senate President, ay lumalaban ka. Except I have an issue with the premise. Because, tignan nyo guys, sinong bumoto against Zubiri? Bongo, Bato, Robin Hood, Tolentino, Cynthia Villar. I mean, I don't see these people as key allies of Marcos. Jinggoy. Si Duterte ang nagpaano dun, di ba? So, I don't know. Bong Revilla. These are not Marcos allies, last time I checked. Rafi Tulfo is not a Marcos ally. He's his own guy. So, baka may aspeto dito na si Zubiri I felt pressure or anything like that. But if you look at who voted against him, marami DDS yan, for the lack of better term. Diba? I mean, diba? Marcos, hindi naman pro-BBM yan, diba? May alam naman, yung kapatid na, may sariling pag-iisip yan, diba? Lito Lapid is not the key Marcos ally. Definitely not Bongo. Definitely not Robin Hood Padilla. Definitely not Bato. Hello, Bato. Even Bato voted against Zubiri. So, marami ko nakikita dito na pro-Duterte or may mga tao na maraming magandang nangyari sa kanila ng paninindigong. Including napalaya kahit or kahit convicted. Okay, wala akong sinasabi. Ang sinasabi ko lang, so, medyo I have a problem with that explanation na ito ay Malacanang orchestrated. Now, there's another way to look at it whereby all of this could be correct and not at the same time exclusively correct. Diba? So, ang explanation ko dito is actually, I think, if you look at Mig Zubiri's ouster, it happened in 3 acts. Unang-una, ang isang concern kay Zubiri is parang for some reason, medyo mabagal yung legislative agenda. Medyo hindi umuusad yung mga ibang legislative priorities, including, remember, one of the biggest problems we saw last year was itong issue ng charter change and Chacha. And you saw Zubiri coming out in his way, at least strongly opposing the Chacha and all. And the reason why Zubiri opposed the Chacha, because ang sinasabi niya is hindi kailangan ng Chacha dahil meron na tayong mga pinasang batas na magpapalaya ng ating ekonomiya in a sense of, reducing restrictions on foreign direct investment, etc. At sinabi ni Zubiri dyan is ang kailangan natin dito is formalize and finalize itong implementing rules and regulations, RRR. Not to mention, there were also a number of other legislative agendas na dapat na finalize nung panahon ni Zubiri, but for some reason medyo hindi eh. So I think the first act was some sort of disappointment dito sa, for the lack of better term, gridlock or inefficiency in terms of legislative agenda advocacy, and also yung, I would say, retreat on the issue of charter change. Because on the issue of charter change, tama po yung mga ka-TikTok natin dyan, even people like Jesus Cedar, etc., are not necessarily bentang-benta dun sa issue ng charter change. So, first of all, there is a big concern dito sa efficiency and also holding the ground. Because we saw, Zubiri coming out and saying we are not gonna allow the lower house to bully us, essentially, ganun-ganon, tapos yung away nila ni Romualdez. So that was already the first act. But that first act was already bleeding into second act. And that second act is not only nagkaroon ng hidwaan with Romualdez over the charter change issue, and I don't think BBM was 100% on Romualdez side and disappointed at Zubiri. But nevertheless, doon para nakita natin na may konting, medyo nag-alienate na si Zubiri. Because on one hand, he didn't take a categorical strong stance dun sa charter change. And then he tried to preempt the charter change issue by saying, okay, we'll just pass something else na economic provisions lang. But wait, di ba your position was hindi naman kailangan? Ngayon, biglang, sige, gawin natin yun para walang charter change. So, ano ba talaga? And then, in the midst of that, sa pagkaalam natin, meron nagkaroon ng hidwaan talaga with Romualdez, who was pushing for a charter change. So, doon pa lang, medyo may strike one. But that led to the strike two. And the strike two, guys, was, in my opinion, the Quiboloy issue. Because if you look at the Quiboloy issue, sobrang hands-off si Zubiri, di ba? Even when na klarong-klaro na si Quiboloy, hindi nirespeto yung Senado, hindi nirespeto yung subpoena, etc. Hanggang doon, medyo ganun-ganun pa ni si Zubiri. Very, very hands-off siya. At kung maalala nyo, doon sa isang podcast natin with Secretary Llamas, among others, pinag-usapan natin na baka yung isang dahilan na ganun siya kay Quiboloy is yung delaying tactics, yung hindi decisive yung intervention is because there's the Mindanao factor. Of course, you know that Senator Zubiri has a Mindanao base, di ba? Which is an issue I also raised kahapon with Justice Carpio. So, I think there were a number of people who were also not very happy because, as they say, when you don't make a stance, you piss off both sides. Right? When you're not decisive, you alienate both sides. As Margaret Thatcher put it, if you stand in the middle of the road, you're gonna get hit by both sides. So, sa palagay ko, that also did not help. And that's why, actually, for a while pa lang, narinig na natin si Zubiri ay pinapalis na. And let's not forget, Zubiri became the Senate President quite surprisingly because people saw Cynthia Villar or other senators as potential frontrunners. So his rise to power to begin with was like, and then you had already itong Act number 2. And then came this Bato hearings and all of that, which is like crazy. Siguro may mga nagsabi na, sige, yung first hearing ni Bato, sige, hayaan natin, pagbigyan natin si Jonathan Morales type mga ganun, let them have their feast day. But I think the very first hearing, naging klaro na something is really off and weird here. And then nagka-second hearing, and then nagka-leche-leche na. So, I think by this time, wala na talaga, nawala ng confidence. And I think this was also the time na each side had a reason to abandon Zubiri. So, on one hand, yung iba na-alienate sa kanya because they felt he was not decisive enough, he was not stopping or putting the, drawing the line doon sa clown show. Doon naman sa kabila, siguro feeling nila, they need someone na mas pabor sa kanila, or at least bukas dun sa kanilang bukas sa kanilang pananaw. And again, I'm not saying, but the thing with Jesus Escudero is that in a way he actually looks like the natural successor because ang tagal na ni Jesus Escudero na sa position of power. But at the same time, if you look at it, dun sa mga bumoto sa kanya, they wouldn't really feel bad about Cheese. In fact, they have a reason to support Cheese because on some key issues, Chee's position is not too far away from the DDS camp. I'm talking about particularly in the US case. So, for instance, Bato's position on EDCA and Escudero's position on EDCA both were critical in their own ways. And as you see, Escudero recently was warning against, over-relying on US. Oh, of course, I completely agree with us should not over-rely on the US or anyone for that matter. But then again, sana naman pag-usapan din natin ang nangyari sa West Philippine Sea na binubuli tayo, na limited yung options natin, blah, blah, blah. Dun sa EDCA issue, yung mga the DDS camp argument na ito hindi maasahan itong American nito, bakit tayo mang-EDCA? Tapos yung argument niya dapat may rent or something. Hello, hindi nga siya military base kaya nga EDCA siya. Bawal yung military. So kaya for me hindi So respectfully, I disagree with Justice Carpio's explanation kahapon that siguro this was really about the whole Bato clown show. Because in my opinion, I think the Bato clown show was really just a final act. And it's interesting that Bato, Bongo, Amy Marcos, lahat ng mga yan ay sumuporta kay Escudero. And is it just a coincidence that Escudero also has certain points of view that quite align, if not perfectly align, with their position, right? Interesting. Now, obviously, what is the big picture here, right? Ang big picture dito is if next year, manalo ulit si Bato, which is increasingly likely, mukhang, for all of the, we can say about the whole Jonathan Morales, whatever, mukhang gumana sa kanya yan. And I won't be surprised his numbers are actually going to be better in the surveys. I heard this even from other senators who said, ang basa nila dito is this is actually helping Bato's re-election. Bongo is more than certain. The only question is going to be number 1, 2, or 3. Siguro number 2 or 3. Malaking chance. I mean, Marcos kind of there, but I think has a pretty decent chance of being in the at least the bottom 6 of Magic 12. So, and then 1 or 2 Dutertes could run. And then if this is the Senate President, I don't know. I mean, you could see already the implications here. Diba? So, this is the big picture, guys. Medyo sabaw na tayo. Sort of 5 a.m. pa tayo nagtrabaho. But balikan natin yan. Let's talk about this more later this week, God willing, with si Secretary Ronald Llamas. Medyo mag-RRM, RRL na tayo para we can look at the different aspects of this. And alam niyo naman, very diplomatic ako, kaya I'll leave it to Secretary Llamas to spill the beans and say some of these things. Again, thank you very much, mga kameta. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat na nanonood kayo sa atin. Kahit simpleng tao lang po tayo. Kahit ano lang. Casio lang po yan. Ganon. Magko-comment pa yan. On that note, mga simpleng tao na nagpo-follow sa atin, baka naman gusto niya magpadala ng stickers at stars. Or baka naman, diba? At yung mga second-class municipality na mahilig makita ng McLaren para matuwa-tuwa. Baka naman, gusto rin niyang padaan yung mga McLaren dito. Diba? Para sa syudad namin. Diba? On that note, thank you very much, guys. God bless and talk to you soon.